have you? Last 24 hours, where have you been? You just came.
I've done most of the show. I've done the other show. Yeah, I arrived midnight 2 nights ago.
Right.
I did half of the show yesterday.
Okay.
And I did 2/3 of the remaining booths this morning. I just had this little section to be done.
Wow.
And this year's product of the century are the little wheels with the little batteries that are going like this.
Yeah.
And the people that are actually manufacturers had staff do demonstrations, and they all fell into other booths.
Yes.
So that was a great demonstration. So for those manufacturers, make sure you know your product and you know how to use it.
Yes.
Safely.
Lean forward and lean back.
It was just terrible.
Must...
So that's the product of the century at this show.
Yes.
And some of the guys that we saw last year are all gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. So that's one of the things that, you know, if you're really contemplating, you know, wait 6 months, come to another sourcing show.
Yes.
And if the company's there, then that's probably a good thing. I picked up a nice, sustainable. I picked up a nice little camera that I saw last year for surveillance, with a little chip inside.
Yes.
You know, get rid of the storage servers. You know, application for teletransportation, public transportation. So last year, I said, fine. Took the information, was great.
Yes.
I've learned. I wait until the next show, and if they're there. Very good.
That's a way to do it.
So now, and then now we had, you know, products mature.
Yes.
The same thing with the doorbell guy last year that we saw.
Right.
His Android firmware it wasn't ready, but I saw them this past spring, and guess what? They're the #1 in the industry now. They got their software going, and you know, I picked up some samples. They firmware, everything all debugged, and they're here.
Wow.
And they've gotten good media coverage. So that's another home run.
Doorbell with an Android
interface, wireless, and so on. Yeah,
wow.
Very, very nice.
We'll have to see that later.
And beautifully nice, the best design.
That's over in Hall 2, is it?
That's in Hall, yes it is. It's in Hall 2, that's correct. Yep.
Well,
oh no, they're actually in Hall 7. They're kind of smart. They stayed out of the security section.
Well, it's interesting you talk about how the manufacturers, do they stay around or are they no longer around? Remember the 30 or 40 tablet manufacturers every show 2 or 3 years ago? Yesterday we walked around everywhere. There were 6 we found.
Yeah.
There's only 6.
Yeah.
And actually, even back then, 2 years ago, you were telling me, out of 40, you only found about 3 that were
really legitimate.
But even one of those 3 turned out to be
exactly
too.
It's funny you say that because I got an email just a couple of days ago from the fellow we met from India last year, not in April, but in October this time, and he was looking for tablets, and I did the little survey, and guess what? He ran into the same things. You know, people are saying we have this. I said, take a look, HDMI license, SD license. If it's not on the HDMI or SD license website, then don't buy. So this fellow was ready to buy. He forgot all about that, but he reached out to me and he says, well, who should I see? I said, well, there's only one guy, and he's still here, and he's the biggest, and he makes products for HP. So you know that manufacturer has EU and American input in keeping his quality up.
Wow.
And the fellow says, well, you know, I'm not a large buyer. You know, they don't want to deal with me. So I said, contact the fellow again and say, give me one of your distributors.
Yes.
You know, and make an arrangement. So you don't have to be, you know, the deal factory direct, but say, look, I love your product. It's great. How can I work with you, buy your product? So it's a win-win.
So then,
this, by the way, is some new technology that Korea has developed with Hyundai, where they actually try to give you a view of the car.
Yes.
But for my wife, or for even for me, this is too hard to understand.
Yes.
This isn't a 360 bird's eye view that Infinity has. This is the one that the company out in Korea tried to do and failed miserably. They were using it primarily for cranes and not for vehicles, because it was safety for the crane to go around and move things. So that's where this technology.
Behind you, Charles, isn't that something?
This is also a problem. You see, this is unfortunately taking digital technology, and then instead of having the front camera, the side camera, and the rear camera being stitched with a very high compression algorithm, this in theory should be beautiful. That it's distorted. And the Korean company they have the technology for that. Yeah, but it's at a $800 price.
Right.
So what is this price for?
It's 500 for one piece.
Okay.
If 1K, it's 385.
Okay, well the 360 that I found is $110, including all the cameras, including the plastics that go into BMW, Infiniti, Ford,
Yeah.
all complete.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is nice.
Yes.
They're the first here
Yes.
with this technology, but it's not mature. It's a copy of the Korean technology. So to me, it's number one, out of the price. Because a consumer would be buying it for $400.
Yes.
For $500. A distributor at $500.
More.
And the resolution, it means nothing.
Yeah.
You're selling the gadget and not the end result.
Yes.
So the end result has to be clear and safe.
Yeah, nice. Sometimes
So 2 strikes, and remember, 3 strikes and you're out. my friend.
Yes,
You're going to get in trouble.
Child, be nice.
360 was 8 years ago. Same thing. It wasn't good. They copied from Japan. In this case, it came from Korea. So they got the concept. So that's where 8 years ago the 360s had
Yes.
terrible resolution.
Well, you and
Now they
I
have
saw
that.
it 2 years ago at the trade show here.
Yeah, and 6
Yes.
years prior to that. So this is going to be
amazing.
probably the same thing if
Right.
they listen to the customer.
And they'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we'll see.
Let's hope they're here in April next year.
Well, we have a rendezvous here
Yes.
in next April at the show, and we'll see.
We'll look for it.
That's
Excellent.
great.
So where are we going to now?
I'm going to a factory tomorrow for one of my good customers in the States.
Yes.
He's never been to China.
Right.
He's been communicating back and forth with the manufacturer
Right.
for the last year. And they signed non-disclosures executed here in
Yes,
China.
right.
And now they're ready to see how they can take their technology from China and put it from the engineering technology in the United States and make it into a product.
Wow.
So we're seeing first the manufacture of the product that's the largest in the world
Right.
in that market sector, and then seeing the plastics guy in the afternoon.
Yes.
So that we also keep the IP separate.
Right.
So the hardware is hardware, and the plastics is the plastics, and then we put them in together, like Michael says, in a black box.
Right.
So no one knows what's going
Yes.
on to,
Yeah.
because it is a patented technology that these folks have in the States.
Right.
So they're doing the same thing. They have the idea, why reinvent the wheel?
Right.
Let's go find a manufacturer, say,
Yes.
can you change this for us?
Right.
Then they do their own little magic, and then
Bang.
off they go.
Off we go. This is
So,
good.
so that's my little trip tomorrow, and then I'm back for 2 more days of
Wow.
shopping. Then I'm back for 3 days of work in the factories.
Shopping, you mean trade show
Yeah,
shopping?
trade show shopping. 3 days in the factories, and
Yes.
then back for the second Global Sources show.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah, good. So let's see.
Let's go and have a look at it. So we've got Charles is checking out an interface for an audio in one of the booths today. So what we've actually just talked about then was the products look good on the surface, but it's really good to get expert advice as to what really is behind the products, or the key critical components that go into a product that make it work according to what the customer expects from that. So we're going to come back to Charles' booth visits. Stay tuned. This is Neil at the Global Sources Expo, October 2015. Catch you soon. Bye.